Hello guys, it's Mason from Info Toys and Games here, and today I will be doing my first vocal countdown. It is the top 8 Zelda items. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. So, without further ado, let's move on. The Megaton Hammer is cool, but it would actually be warm after being in the fire temple for so long. The hammer was first introduced in A Link to the Past, where it is called the Magic Hammer. Its main use is to defeat the Helmasaur King boss. Ocarina of Time makes the hammer even cooler, shaking the ground when you use it. It is used to defeat the Fire Temple boss and to attack the Beast Ganon if you don't have the Megaton sword, which I'm not showing footage of there. But I highly recommend getting the Megaton sword in your playthroughs, just to let you know. The hammer is at its best in Wind Waker, where the Skull Hammer is as big as you. It literally flattens enemies, which I'm not showing here because I don't have footage for it. It is also used for defeating the Helmasaur King, who kidnapped your sister and tossed you into the ocean. And you get to bash him in the head with one of the most over-the-top items in Legend of Zelda history. The only reason is it isn't any higher is because it is kind of slow and hard to aim sometimes, I would have to say. Not only is the stone mask fun to use, it makes sneaking past the Gerudo guards in Majoras Mask effortless. It puts Solid Snake to shame. If you don't know what it does, it makes you invisible to most enemies. Bosses, mini-bosses, and strange exceptions like Deku Babas can still see you though. I don't know if you can remain invisible to the item stealing likes and those crow guys that take your equipment to Curiosity Shop. Darn those! This isn't the last mask on this list. The stone mask isn't any higher on the list because it really only has a single use. An awesome one at that. The bottle is simple. It stores things. It is necessary for nearly all Legend of Zelda games. Next! Before we start, let me apologize that I don't have footage of this. I couldn't find much footage of anyone using this. The Great Fairy Sword is an optional item that you can obtain through rescuing stray fairies in one of the dungeons in Majoras Mask. It is essentially the sister of the Megaton sword from Ocarina of Time. It takes an item slot, not your sword slot. It is incredibly useful for attacking a stunned boss, but it is acquired late game, so don't expect to kick Adala's butt with it the first time around, unless you like the tool assist speedrun. This is the last melee weapon on this list. It's worth 100% of the effort required to obtain. You deserve to be locked up in Arkham Asylum if you don't like the hookshot. As long as you have lots of posts nearby to grapple onto, you can fly around not quite at the speed of sound. In Ocarina of Time, Tempest Ghost gives the hook shot to you, and it gets upgraded into the long shot at the water temple, which has better range. The hook shot in A Link to the Past is absolutely broken, but I don't have footage of it. All of the hook shots can actually hurt enemies. A decent substitute if you run out of arrows for your bow. The Sonic shoes of the Legend of Zelda series, the bunny hood is exclusive to Majora's Mask, but appears in Super Smash Bros. Too. It is very useful for getting around places you can't use the Goron roll or Epona in. I seriously don't need to explain it anymore. Before we get to number 1, I demand a recap. Number 7, the hammer. 6, the stone mask. Number 5, the bottle. Number 4, Great Fairy Sword. Number 3, the hookshot. And number 2, the bunny hood. I like bombs and arrows, so why not combine the two? You can make bomb arrows at any moment by sacrificing a bomb that you have. The bomb arrows are useful for taking out groups of small enemies with the splash damage. My explosive arrows say, "Forget you, physics! No downward curve for us." These are a blast to use. Oops. End video now, please!